We are about to witness a man's political career become collateral damage in one of these skirmishes between the terfs and the intersectional feminist, two branches of the same hate movement. Now, we'll go to the beginning so you guys can understand the details.
Good evening. In the biggest test of his leadership, John Pursuto will gamble his reputation fighting to expel a controversial MP from his Liberal Party room. Moira Deeming supported an anti-trans event attended by Neo-Gnatzees in the heart of Melbourne.
There you go. Basically, this woman is affiliated with Nazis. That's what it's going to be boiled down to. And it's going to be the biggest gamble of this man's career, the biggest test. Why? Basically, it boils down to a man is trying to oust a woman. That's what's going on here. If this was a man who people suspected was affiliated with Nazis, he'd be gone instantly. But because it's a woman, this guy is putting a huge gamble and test to get rid of her. And I can understand why, because as we know, the Suffragettes affiliated themselves with the KKK. There are two hate movements that get along well together. Here they are wearing their uniforms. People still today talk about the Suffragettes with beaming admiration. So you think it's going to be any different for this woman here?
Mark Santamartino reports.
Together at Parliament, Moira Deeming and Kelly J. Keane.
What fabulous t-shirts he's wearing.
A Liberal MP with a women's rights campaigner who has peddled anti-trans views on the shows of white supremacists deemed too extreme for YouTube.
You know, when I hear the word liberal, that's what I think of. I think of anti-trans and white supremacists. And by the way, both these people represent anti-male movements. Racism is essentially anti-male. These white nationalists have proven to shack up with beautiful dark-skinned women whenever they can. So when they go against, let's say, immigrants, they're talking about male immigrants. Racism is basically a hatred of other men. And of course, feminists hate men, period. And that's all they're about. There's nothing to feminism beyond that. It's a hate movement. There's nothing to them. This is a hate monger. Now, we'll get on with it.
And now too extreme for the Liberal Party.
I would consider it.
See, it's too extreme now for the Liberal Party. So these hate mongers, these feminist hate mongers attacking men, that wasn't too extreme. It's only when other men join the hate. Now it's a problem. So these guys aren't really against the hate speech, right? They're against who gives the hate speech.
A great failure of leadership if I didn't take this action.
John Pursuto has confirmed he will try to kick Miss Deeming out of his Liberal Party room after Saturday's Let Women Speak event.
We want the right to go to a toilet without a biological man coming in there.
See, that's their big thing, right? These women have forced themselves into men's space for decades. So I don't give a shit that this woman might have a man using the toilet next to her in the other stall. And these women aren't afraid. This isn't a face of fear. They simply hate men and say, you're not good enough to share space with me. Now, of course, the Nazis showed up to show their support. Destroy pedo freaks. Who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about trans women. They see trans women as men, and that's who they're out to get. And do you think it's a coincidence that they showed up at this rally? These guys could have shown up at any rally, but they wanted to be at this one because they feel welcome to it.
Was hijacked by disgusting displays of the Nazi salute.
There are literal Nazis!
I am a strong supporter of free speech. But free speech doesn't include hate speech.
Well, you're wrong, pal, because as you can see, this woman was fine until the Nazi shows up. She is nothing but hate speech. These women give hate speech towards men. So what this guy is really saying is he's all right with hate speech as long as it's being delivered from women to men. But men can't join in.
Moira Deeming promoted Callie J. Keen's event in Parliament and celebrated with her afterwards.
I want you guys to also, anyone who shows up, don't bother with your talk about blue-haired, ugly women. These are lookers. Even Keen, as old as she is, still looks good. These women are either have a guy or they can get one tomorrow if they wanted. So don't come in here with that talk. That is cope talk.
I'm here with some evil terfs.
Well, that's redundant statement. Evil terfs. That's like saying Black Knight.
And under.
Criticising police for allowing the masked men in black anywhere near them.
People are saying, why didn't you tell the Nazis to leave? Well, there was no Nazi symbols on them. I thought they were the trans rights activists.
Can you see? This is why men are stupid to try and gear up with these women. These guys are here to show their support, and this woman throws them under the bus. She tries to deliver them to the other side. Now, look at these guys. Did they look like trans activists to you? No. So it just shows you just how disgusting this woman is.
Did that, they were being escorted out and it was over.
I think it is absolutely despicable that she has been linked to white supremacy.
Well, shut up. You're despicable because she is linked. She isn't being linked, she is linked. Because here she is with Keen, and Keen has been shown, where is it here, to be with the white nationalists. So there is a link there.
Angela Jones, a Melbourne mother of four, helped organise the Let Women Speak rally.
See that, guys? She's a mother of four. So in other words, she's probably some housewife. This is another thing. All you guys who tried to say feminists are against marriage, knock it off. This is a married woman. She has time to go to these rallies because she doesn't work for a living, even though she has children, right? So she has a working slave who knows she hates his guts because he's born male, and she has children to indoctrinate, and she's going out and spewing her hatred. So don't come in here and try and push that feminist or against marriage horseshit.
Left-wing feminists and the transgender community are being used as a political football.
Until the Nazis turned up, Mr. Pizzuto was happy to let this slide.
Thank you for mentioning it. He was happy to let it slide because he's not in charge. He's got his head down. He knows it's political suicide to side with either of these two branches of the same hate movement. This isn't an act of bravery on his part. He is forced to take his side right now, and it's going to damage him. This guy is like a fly between a forefinger and a thumb. He's going to get crushed. These skirmishes, I don't call it a war because they're never going to end. Because for one side to win, someone has to say the other side is bad. And no one is going to say that a group of women are bad people. So that's just the simple fact of this. And so this guy, he's going to try and oust this woman. It's going to damage his career.
We're not there to babysit the activities of every MP.
The vote on Miss Deeming's future will be held next week as the government fast-tracks changes to outlaw the Nazi salute in Victoria.
Yeah, they're fast-tracking it. Why are they fast-tracking it? They were all right with it until these Nazis showed up there. Why? Because these Nazis were exposing these terfs as the hate mongers that they are. So they're not, the government, the Australian government isn't actually against hatred. They're against men exposing these women for what they are.
This is about making sure that we send a very, very clear message that hate speech will not be tolerated here in Victoria.
Hate speech from men will not be tolerated. That's only for us women folk.
Mark Deming is digging in.
Pete, she's adamant that she's done nothing wrong, that the organisers of the Let Women Speak event have done nothing wrong, and she's added in a statement released just in the last hour or so that she intends to fight to remain part of the Liberal Party room. Now, John Pesutto may be confident he has the numbers, but he is gambling with a pretty fine margin here. Let's not forget that he won the Liberal leadership just a couple of months ago on a single vote. That means he would need all of those to expel Moira Deeming, who clearly doesn't want to go. This will...
So he's, again, guys, he's gambling with his career. This woman's affiliated with Nazis, and he would need all these votes to get rid of her. And this guy doubts it. Why does he doubt it? I mean, aren't you guys, you just got through saying earlier that you guys are against hate speech. You want to get these Nazis out, right? Right. So we know, again, this is not about the Nazis. This is about a man trying to oust a woman. And I would say he's going to fail, and it's going to harm his career. That's my prediction. And you know something? If I'm wrong, good. I have absolutely nothing to lose by being wrong. But that is my prediction, because this guy is between a rock and a hard place. Well, men come up against women in any circle, any political circle especially, they are outgunned. I don't think she's going anywhere. So long.